Welcome to the Mentor Series summary video on mentorship and coaching. What do Star Wars and mentorship have in common? Just about everything. In mentorship, just like the Force, there's the light side and the dark side. Those who give of themselves and those who take for themselves. And both mentors and mentees must be watchful for this. Before we get any further, let's just clarify some terminology. In medicine, mentorship takes many forms: coach, sponsor, connector, and mentor. So what do each of these mean? The coach improves. They provide targeted feedback on a specific area for short-term outcomes. A good coach must be honest and direct, and not only give actionable feedback, but also motivate. The sponsor nominates. These are the people who use their influence to increase someone else's visibility. They know the politics and the higher-ups at an institution, and when they see an opportunity that could fit their Padawan's strengths and desires, they recommend them. The connector links. Like the sponsor, they too know people. But here, they're not recommending their mentee for a certain task. They're connecting them to specific people they think can help, like potential collaborators, mentors, or influential leaders. The mentor guides. They are a longitudinal, frequent, consistent guide. In medicine, mentors typically play the role of career guidance. We will spend the rest of our time on mentors and mentees. So, remember how I said that in mentorship there is a light side and a dark side? Well, just like those on the light side of the Force, good mentors and mentees are motivated by love, selflessness, and a desire to benefit those around them. And just like those on the dark side of the Force, bad mentors and bad mentees are motivated by power, selfishness, and greed. So practically, what does this look like? Well, let's first imagine that you're the mentor. Here is how you embody love, selflessness, and a desire to benefit your mentee. To love is to be fully present. When you meet with your mentee, close your email, put down your phone, don't multitask. Completely focus on them. This is a powerful physical display of your devotion. And while you're intently listening, have empathy. Remember back to how you felt in their situation. This will help you to objectively support, critique, and guide them, without being unnecessarily judgmental. To be selfless is to be available. Short meetings are better than no meetings. Quick calls are better than no calls. Be willing to put your career pursuits aside for a moment. To benefit them is to know your role and to manage the mentorship relationship effectively and with positivity. So seek to understand what role your mentee needs you to play and then act on it. To effectively manage the mentorship relationship, you must manage both the personal and professional sides of it. To ensure a mutually positive relationship is built, you need to head off rifts before they grow. In any relationship, including mentorship, there are conflicts and disagreements. That's okay. That's healthy. But how should we deal with them? We must not avoid them. A good mentor calls out issues and addresses them as soon as they're noticed. To manage the professional side of the relationship, you need to ensure you understand and share your mentee's vision of success. And you need to run a tight ship by establishing rules for communication and keeping your mentee accountable. And of course, like any good Jedi Master, to be a good mentor, you must choose your mentees carefully. You cannot be, nor should you be, everyone's mentor. Determine your bandwidth. How many mentees can you take on while still being a good mentor to each and every one of them? And will they be a good mentee? Oh, you're wondering how you can tell? Well, let's review what makes a good mentee. A good mentee is nearly a mirror reflection of a good mentor. They too must be filled with love, selflessness, and a desire to benefit others. They must not be in it only for themselves. They should be someone who energizes rather than drains. The best mentees appreciate their mentor, not only in their mind, but also in their deeds. They do their best to guard their mentor's precious time, recognizing it for the gift that it is. They are teachable, graciously responding to feedback and guidance, and responsible, accountable, and respectful. The bad mentees have the same qualities as the bad mentors, those qualities of the dark side. These individuals tend to be preoccupied with greed, control, power, and selfishness. What does this look like from the mentor? Well, they frequently commit what we call mentorship malpractice. There are two main categories of mentorship malpractice: active and passive. And each of these categories has 3 subtypes. Here are the active subtypes. The hijacker. They take hostage a mentee's ideas and label them as their own. The exploiter. They torpedo a mentee's success by overloading them with low-yield activities. The possessor. They try to dominate their mentee by isolating them from collegial interactions. Here are the passive subtypes. The bottleneck. They are too preoccupied with their own priorities to be a committed mentor. The country clubber. They want the social capital of mentorship, but not the responsibility that comes with it. The world traveler. They're highly successful and sought after by many, but don't actually have time to take on mentees. So how does one prevent mentorship malpractice? Well, honestly, a lot of this responsibility falls on the mentee. Here are 5 ways you, as a mentee, can prevent mentorship malpractice. Number 1, set firm boundaries. Let your mentor know what you are or are not willing to do. For example, what timeline is actually reasonable for you? Number 2, communicate your needs. Your mentor is here to help. Be clear about your needs. Don't wait until it's too late and your head is underwater. Number 3, manage up. When you have a deadline coming up and you know you'll need an answer, ask your question early. Give your mentor plenty of time. And if they're falling short on their end, communicate to them again with a firm deadline. Number 4, establish a mentorship team. When possible, this is a great way to get balanced viewpoints and avoid bias or accidental misdirection from a mentor. It also makes your mentors accountable to each other. And lastly, know when to walk away. Mentees must be prepared and willing to end the relationship when necessary. In conclusion, mentorship is a lot like Star Wars. There's a light side, in which the mentors are selfless, loving, and have the best interests of their mentees at heart. And then there's a dark side, in which mentors are power-hungry, controlling, and self-absorbed. Mentorship has 4 forms. The coach improves, the sponsor nominates, the connector links, and the mentor guides. All of these forms are valuable. Determine which type you or your mentee need. And finally, remember that mentorship is a two-way street. Both the mentor and the mentee play pivotal roles in its success. So, will you choose the light side or the dark side? Happy teaching!